Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So yeah, this trailer came from out of nowhere dropping this morning. I don't think many people were expecting it to drop today. It just kind of came from out of nowhere. And I really like that. I like that we had no build up to it. I like that it was a surprise. And that's one of the things I love about Marvel is that they do these kinds of things. They just drop trailers from out of nowhere. They just drop announcements from out of nowhere. Also, I love that this trailer showed us nothing. It showed us very little of what we are going to see in the actual film. A lot of it was actually from past films, and that's something else. This trailer showcased all the main characters we're going to be seeing in Endgame, but it really focused on the main Avengers, the core Avengers, which is what we expect the movie to focus on. Those along with Captain Marvel, which it showed us very little Captain Marvel, which I think is a good thing. The only character we really didn't get to see that we suspect to have at least a relatively larger role in the movie is a certain Purple Titan. I was kind of surprised not to see Thanos in this trailer, but I'm fine with it because we saw him in the last trailer. They don't want to give too much away, and his role could be extremely vital, probably will be, to the film. The trailer also did a fantastic job displaying that this movie is the end. It's the endgame. It's the end of this era of the MCU. A lot of the heroes that started at Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, they aren't going to be around as much, if at all, after this. And it's going to be sad seeing those characters go, but they did pave the way for the new characters that will be starting this new era of Marvel films after Endgame. The trailer starts off with Tony sending the message to Pepper, I presume, saying, "It feels like 1,000 years ago I fought my way out of that cave and became Iron Man." And it really does feel like a long time ago that happened, which it was 2008, that was 12 years ago. He goes on to say that not long after becoming Iron Man, he realized that he loved Pepper, and the images it shows while he's saying this stuff helps showcase why he fell in love with her. She had a good heart. Tony says, "I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one," and knowing the predicament he's in, stuck in the Benator, it shows you the shot of him stuck there in the middle of space. Nothing around him, everything seems hopeless. Even though we know he's not going to die in space, it's still kind of heartbreaking to hear him say this stuff when he thinks he's on his last legs. The trailer proceeds to show Steve when he was recruiting for the army with the narrative of the world has changed, all we can do is our best, and sometimes the best we can do is start over, and it's fitting that it changes to Clint at that point. And it shows him and Black Widow in a moment of, I guess, reconnection. But then it cuts to Steve where he is carrying Peggy's casket at her funeral. And it was just a brief moment, but it was still heartbreaking to see. Then it cuts to a shot of Asgard, which, as we know, gets destroyed in Ragnarok. Displays Odin's trust in Thor. Then Thor's disappointment in not stopping Thanos. And it's heartbreaking to hear Thor say, "I saw all these people die," as it shows the dusting caused from the snap. And from the last Endgame trailer, just the looks we got at Thor, it seemed that he was blaming himself for the snap, but this is basically verbal confirmation that he does indeed blame himself for the events that occurred after the snap. Then there's a great line from Cap. "I keep telling people that they should move on. Some do, but we don't." It's just a perfect line that displays that they don't give up on people, even when it seems hopeless. And that's what makes them heroes. You see Banner for a brief moment. That's the only shot of Bruce you get in this entire trailer, I'm pretty sure. He doesn't say anything. Then Scott is seen looking at a missing person sign. This could possibly be right after he gets out of the quantum realm. He's just now figuring out what's going on. I'm not quite sure. But I'm assuming whoever put that poster up isn't aware of the snap yet. And another great line that showcases why they are heroes, that they don't give up, is Natasha saying, "Even if there's a small chance, we owe it to everyone that's not in this room to try." And that's just a really impactful line because they failed in Infinity War. They failed. That's something they're not used to. They aren't used to failure, especially on that scale. Then we see Clint. He has the bow and arrows back. He's escaping an explosion I have no idea what could have caused this explosion. I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, it's just an explosion. It's not a massive deal. Then there is an awesome shot of Rocket on War Machine. And they look to be around fire, so this could be the same place that the explosion Clint escaped in the previous shot occurred. And Cap responding to Black Widow's statement of "we have to try" says, "we will, whatever it takes." And this leads into the montage of them just showing all the Avengers and some of them, well, all the original Avengers aside from Thor and Banner saying whatever it takes. We see Cap in his old suit. He's back in the Captain America uniform. Then we see Ant-Man shrunken down in the middle of a bunch of fire, and also Cap was around fire, so that explosion Clint escaped, that may be where one of the conclusions of one of the acts, I don't think it'll be the third, I think it'll be the first or second act, that may be where the first or second act concludes. That may be the big action scene at the end of the act. Because it seems like there's a ton of important stuff going on, and there's fire. The fire is the common ground in all of those shots. Then you see them all in the new Avengers suits, red and white, going into battle, Cap leading the charge. And this is most of them. It doesn't show all of them. I'm not sure if every single Avenger that's in this movie is going to be in that scene or not. It basically shows everyone except Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Rocket. And Thor, Captain Marvel, and Hulk are the three strongest players. But they could easily be there. The Russos have a thing for throwing people off. Or they could meet up with them later. There's several possibilities. But the thing about this scene is I wonder if this is the first time Cap and Tony are going to be seeing each other in person since Civil War. Or if it happens directly before this, because this seems like it's going to lead into the third act, or it starts off the third act, something along those lines. I feel like it's in the third act. But after this, all we see is Thor walking up to Captain Marvel. He calls Stormbreaker, and she doesn't flinch, she just kind of looks at him, sort of annoyed, I guess. And Thor's like, "Oh, I like this one." And if it wasn't for Chris Hemsworth delivering that line so well, I don't know if that would have sat right with me. That could have been a bad way to end the trailer, but it was fine. I think Brie Larson is a great actress, but from seeing Captain Marvel and then seeing that scene, she just doesn't seem like Captain Marvel to me. But with all that being said, I am extremely hyped for this movie. This trailer was awesome. It showed us very little, which is a good thing. It showed us a lot of things that reflected on the past. It showed us past scenes from past movies. And I'm really liking the tone for this movie. It seems right. I'm interested to see how they save Tony and when Tony and Steve actually meet up and talk again. I am so excited for this movie. But anyway, if you saw the trailer, which I'm sure you did, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys sometime.